Good night everybody. This one will be a quick review of the Darkseid action figure from the KENNER Total Justice toy line. And the action figure is pretty basic. It's got the standard 5 points of articulation you can expect from KENNER in the 90s. You actually get a 6th point of articulation here at the wrist. And otherwise the figure is pretty basic. But now, that wrist is what made this figure particularly hated by collectors back then, because the weapon he's got on his wrist is fixed. It's molded onto the action figure. It cannot be removed, and that does detract a little bit from the dramatic appearance of the character. Also, that weapon looks like something from the Masters of the Universe, which is perfectly fine for playing, but doesn't really fit the character we see in the comic books. And collectors were not happy with that. Otherwise, if we can just ignore that weapon, what else we got here? What would we want from a Darkseid action figure? First of all, is rocky skin, which is portrayed here by sculpting this rocky texture on his skin, and we even have some shadowing painting onto the figure, which is particularly generous from KENNER, which was not very known for paint applications. And what else? Oh yeah, size. We want Darkseid to tower over the other action figures. And well, I think that this one accomplishes, because if this one is Darkseid, the other one next to him is the Green Lantern from the same toy line. This Darkseid is huge. Is a huge and heavy figure, like they don't do anymore, and is about 7 inches tall in a toy line that stands just about 5. And that makes him very tall, very big and menacing, and I love that. That is something that made me want this figure for a few years. And otherwise, since we're talking about comparisons, we might want to see Darkseid next to another KENNER Darkseid, the one that came out in the Superpowers collection toy line here. And this one also was pretty big for his own toy line, not as much as he is anyway. And otherwise, this guy here had something that he misses, and something that made or would have made collectors happy, which is, if I can show you, light piping. Okay, it's got red light piping, which means clear red plastic running through his head, conducting light to mimic his Omega Beam superpower. He's just got red painted eyes, which are nice but not as effective. Otherwise, it's a great action figure. It's a toy. It's not aimed at collectors, but I like toys, I collect toys, and this one is a good toy. And if you had this figure, if you like this figure, just hit the like button. If you want to see more of those toys, just subscribe to this channel, and good night.